Okay, you're good to begin.
Okay, thank you. Good morning, everyone, and happy June. Hope you're finding something to do that's a little different and enjoyable. But we have quite a bit of a number of waivers today, and so thanks to everyone for being. So we'll go ahead and get started. I do have a question, Rob and Allison, on these. I know if it's EKU, I need to recuse myself. If I know someone, I also need to recuse myself, correct?
Yes.
Okay, all right. Okay, then we'll go ahead and get started. And Kathy, I'll turn it over to you.
Okay. Waiver A has been submitted from 10 EPPs. Do I need to go through the list or can you all see it all right? Are you okay? All right. They've requested waivers for a portion of the 200 clinical field hours for some of their students due to school closures for the COVID-19. Each EPP has provided letters and a list of their students that need to have some of these hours waived before they can student teach in the fall.
Okay, so you have the proposal before you. I will say I need to recuse myself on this. So do we have any questions for Kathy? If not, then we need a motion.
I'm sorry. I motion to approve.
Okay, thank you, Rachel. And we need a second.
Second.
Okay, let's see. Rob or Allison, how many voting members do we have on here?
You three.
Okay, all right, and I need to recuse myself. So, so we have a motion and a second. If you approve the motion, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. All right, then the motion carries and the waiver is approved.
Okay, waiver B, Midway has requested an additional 18 days be waived for one of their student teachers, Joy Johnson, for the spring semester due to her inability to work with her cooperating teacher on NTI. They had already requested 17 days that were approved at the April meeting. So the request and a letter of support have been submitted, and I told you they previously approved the 17 days, so they need to add 18 more days.
Okay, any questions for Kathy?
Yes. Did it come through?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, then.
Can I say that this was also, this waiver and the next waiver were presented to Sherry and Donna, is it Hedspeth?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
To be conditionally approved so that the student could graduate. Do I need to say that in the board meeting or not, or what?
I don't know.
I don't think so. I think mainly it's going to go by what the waiver committee.
Okay, so
right.
I can just say, yeah, so I won't mention anything about the conditional.
No, because really the waiver committee, if the waiver committee thinks it's fine, then that's going to be the recommendation to the board anyway.
Perfect.
However, it doesn't hurt for Ellen and Rachel to know that Donna and Sherry already gave a conditional approval.
Okay.
And if I remember correctly, student was they had the student involved in some different
all kinds of things. They were doing as much as they could.
It's just they don't.
She had already finished her first placement of 35 days, so this was her second placement, and the cooperating teacher was very uncooperative.
Yeah, and they did some one-on-one types of things with her. The university did. It's just they're not. It's not your traditional approach.
Right.
So,
I mean, if the university feels comfortable and you all have looked to see if it could work for graduation, then I'm going to trust that, and I feel comfortable with approving waiver B.
Okay,
I'll second.
okay. All right.
Just for a little bit of context on these situations, whatever the universities have asked for or done in good faith or not, it hasn't been the fault of the student. And some of our students had better experiences than others, and some of our EPPs really dug deep and provided some really good additional things to do. Sherry's EPP, for an example, really came up with some ways to engage students who couldn't participate in some very meaningful ways. I'm not going to say that was everybody, but I think the consideration is whatever did happen, unless it was a student who just decided to go AWOL, it wasn't the fault of the student.
Yeah, there were some students that were in situations that the teacher just refused to work with the student. We couldn't get them with another teacher. Okay, so I think this waiver then is approved. Okay, C.
Are you ready for waiver C?
Yes.
C. Okay, Lindsay Wilson College has requested an additional 35 days to be waived for their student teacher, Jacob Brockman, for the spring. He was called up for active duty with the National Guard. He had to report to Louisville to set up that hospital kind of thing on the fairgrounds. The request and the letter of support have been submitted. The board previously approved 4 days at the April meeting for him, so they need an additional 35 days.
I'll make a motion to approve.
I second.
Okay. So you have the motion before you. If you approve, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, no. All right. Waiver D.
Okay, waiver D is from Thomas More University. Waiver for their student who is a theater and this would have come through as an alternative waiver, but to submit a letter from the district supporting. And Thomas More has tried for a really long time to get the waiver or to get a letter from the district. What's happening right now to them that they weren't able to do that. So we advised them to just submit a waiver request. As you know, there's not a teacher in an elementary setting that theater. So they are going to do a placement between middle school and high school. They're giving them all the exposure that they can during their field hours, and also they will during their experience.
Kathy, let's have you go audio only, please, since you don't have to be
Still
on,
messed up, okay.
yeah, since you don't have to be on camera to vote, I don't think you have to
Perfect.
stay on camera, and that'll help with your bandwidth. Thank you.
Okay.
Sorry.
Okay.
Did it come out okay? Did you all understand for that waiver?
Yes.
Okay.
We've, I feel like we've got similar ones to this before where we've approved.
Okay. So I need a recommendation.
So I recommend to approve waiver C.
And I'll
Okay.
second.
All right.
It's waiver D.
Sorry.
Okay.
I
Sorry.
have the waiver in front of me, but I don't see the actual, like on the waiver, I don't see the letter, so thank you.
Okay.
Okay. Have a motion to approve waiver D. If you approve the motion, signify by saying aye. Those opposed, no. All right. Waiver E.
Okay, waiver E is the exact same waiver for a different student. The student's name for this one is Natalie Blue. And she's a theater major in the exact same circumstances for Thomas More.
Okay. I make a motion to approve.
Second.
Okay, so we have a motion to approve waiver E. If you approve the waiver, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, all right. Waiver F.
Waiver F is for Mr. Will Kayatin, is from Morehead State University. On behalf of Dr. Will Kayatin, he is currently applying for the school superintendent program at Morehead State. He does not meet any of the admission requirements. However, he has served at KVAC since 2012, leading, supporting, and attending multiple professional learning experiences. Should you approve or make recommendation to approve the waiver, in addition to waiving his admission requirements, there would need to be a second waiver regarding the 2-year experience that's required for certification.
Okay, I will need to recuse myself from this one since I know him. Any questions for Allison?
So have we done something like this before? Is this strictly because of the virus, or why would we?
So, no, this isn't related to the virus. He has just applied for the school superintendent program and submitted his curriculum vitae and resume, and Morehead is inquiring about whether or not if the board would consider waiving the requirements of the regulation.
I think he needs the experience. So I don't agree with this one.
I agree with you. I think he needs the experience. I think there's a reason we have these in place, and it's not even just one thing, it's multiple criteria. So I don't feel comfortable approving either.
Okay, so we need okay. And Ellen, okay. All right. So you have the motion to deny waiver F. If you approve, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, no. Okay, and the motion carries. Waiver G.
Okay, waiver G is Jason Disney. He is an occupation-based teacher. He was unable to complete the 6 semester hours of coursework towards his associate's degree program this year due to medical circumstances. I believe during the 1920 school year, he had to have, well, from summer to present, he had to have like 3 surgeries. So he was unable to complete the courses, but he is enrolled for fall and is scheduled to complete those and complete the requirements of his program by December.
Okay, any questions for Crystal? Okay, then I need a motion. Okay.
If we approve it, does he have another year, or how does that work? Is there a time frame on it? Because I'm good with giving him extended time. I just want to make sure that there's some kind of
Yes, this would give him through the 2021 school year to meet his 6 hours, but I believe from what I recall from the recommendation put forth that he's going to have the 2 classes completed this fall, and that actually may complete his program from what I remember.
Okay.
Okay, so we have a motion. Rachel, are you second? Okay, all right. So Crystal, then we don't have to put any conditions here.
Correct.
Okay, all right. Okay, so we have a motion to approve waiver G. If you approve the motion, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? All right, the motion carries. Waiver H.
Waiver H is requested by Fayette County. They have a pending offer of employment for Miss Emma Farrow. She completed her teaching program through Eastern Nazarene College in Massachusetts. However, she was unable to take the test to become certified in that state due to COVID. She has, though, completed her testing requirements for the elementary certification, which is her program area for Kentucky. She's passed all of her Kentucky tests. She did that prior to COVID. So the district is asking for a waiver of 403O that requires her to hold the out-of-state certification.
Any questions for Crystal? Okay, then I need a motion. Crystal, we have approved this in the past, if I'm
Yes,
correct?
we actually had one at the April board meeting. If you recall, it was the teacher who had completed her program at, I believe, Indiana University Southeast, maybe, for gifted, and she was hired in Shelby County. So yes, we've had a few similar cases to this.
Okay.
Yeah, I vote we approve waiver H.
Okay.
All right, second.
All right. So we have a motion to approve waiver H. If you approve, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? All right. Waiver I.
Waiver I is for Sean Lawrence. This is a waiver of 8020, the rank 2 regulation. Now, Mr. Lawrence has completed a middle school education program through Thomas More. The university has offered him a position to remain there as a graduate student. He wants to pursue his plan. I believe he is pursuing a program, their Master of Arts in Ethical Leadership. According to the staff note and the documentation that was provided, Thomas More does not offer a program in teacher leadership or educational leadership, which would be what he would have pursued had they offered it at the graduate level. But they do have the Master of Arts in Ethical Leadership, and he is requesting that once that program is completed, that we will accept it for a rank 2.
Allison, doesn't Thomas More have a teacher leader master's?
Yes, they do.
Okay.
Yeah, and that's a difference in those programs. The focus, what would be embedded, right, Allison? I think it's a really different.
I'm trying to find my notes here. I'm toggling between screens right now. I'm trying to see if I'm pretty certain that the documents that was submitted with the waiver request and also included something from Thomas More, a letter of support from Thomas More. That's what I'm trying to find right now.
Yeah, I don't think he has any desire to be a principal. I think he might want to further in coaching and maybe athletic directing somewhere down the line.
I guess my concern was, you have those programs and they're approved. I don't see, you open the door to programs that really aren't focused on educator preparation.
Right.
To me, that's problematic.
I'm looking at his.
Well, that's why we have you guys on the committee.
Yes, absolutely. Okay, so I'm looking at the letter from Thomas More, and this was just a letter of recommendation for the graduate program. It wasn't specifically for this particular or asking to consider this one. So yeah, that would be my error when preparing the staff note, that they do have an approved program for teacher leader, but that wasn't brought forward in his notes either.
Well, sometimes one of the concerns I have too is, at the university, when we see things like this, also when we have students really, wanting to transfer from another university, whether they're in a program like this or a different program, there are admission requirement issues, whether it's on the dispositional side, whether it's, whatever. And students are trying to get around that. I don't know that that's the case here, but I just, I don't really support this, but we need a motion, so.
I agree. We need to deny this one. I make a recommendation to deny.
A second.
Motion to deny waiver request I. If you approve the motion, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, no. All right.
So-
Waiver J.
Excuse me, Sherry.
Yeah.
I need to clarify this. I don't know if it's going to impact your all's decision, but Thomas More did have a teacher leader program, but it's just been recently closed.
Okay.
I apologize for that. I know that they'd had one in the past, but it's I'm looking to see its closure date right now.
But my guess is that if he had entered that program, they would have had to teach him out.
Correct.
Absolutely.
Right. Yes.
And it
Yeah.
could be he's getting some kind of tuition waiver, so he's trying to find something. But I think, if this is what you want to do, then you need to go through an approved program to get.
Right. Yeah. They closed the program in October of 2019, and they have until August of this year as the date set for them to complete all the students that were in the program at the time. And the reason that they closed the program that they gave us was a lack of future demand for this credential.
Okay.
And I'm also checking right now. I'm looking to see if there's on the approved program site to see if there are any approved master's programs that are not initial cert, because he obviously, he has just completed his program, but everything I'm looking on their approved program list is all initial graduate programs. So how when I prepared the staff note, it would have been correct that there are no ed leadership programs available for him to pursue, which is why he has chosen to take the Master of Arts in Ethical Leadership.
Okay.
I still agree with what we've done, because I feel like what Ms. Powers said, we're opening up the door for other students to want to do a different program and us have to approve it. So I just feel like he should probably go somewhere else to obtain that degree. So that's my thoughts.
I completely agree with that.
Okay. All right. I think we are made a decision then on waiver I. So waiver J.
Waiver J is brought forth by Allen County Schools on behalf of Cameron Cook. This is a waiver of 2120, as you all have become very accustomed to these. It's a second emergency for a high school physics position. Mr. Cook has a degree in biology and he's planning to go through the Option 6 program. However, he needs some additional coursework in physics before being eligible for admission.
I make a motion to approve.
Second.
Okay. All right. So we have a motion to approve waiver J. If you approve, signify by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed? Okay. All right. So the approved waiver J. Waiver K.
Waiver K is brought by Christian County Schools for Amanda Ashton. This is also a waiver of 2120 in order for her to receive a second emergency. She is a currently certified teacher with certification in IECE and LBD. She has filled a high school math position for the 1920 school year. She's planning to pursue the additional certification either through the highly qualified route or the proficiency evaluation route. The district is requesting the second waiver so she can also complete additional coursework in the content.
Any questions for Crystal? Okay. We need a motion.
I'll make a motion to approve.
Second.
Okay, so we have a motion to approve the waiver. If you approve the motion, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Those opposed? Okay. Waiver L.
Waiver L is also from Christian County on behalf of Thomas Wise. This is also a waiver of 2120. He has filled a high school math position at Hopkinsville High School for 1920. His undergrad degree is in business. He's planning to pursue the math certification through option 6, but needs additional coursework in the content area.
Okay. Any questions for Crystal? All right, then we need a motion.
A motion to approve.
Second.
Okay. All right, so we have a motion to approve waiver L. If you approve the motion, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Okay, so the waiver is approved. Waiver M.
Waiver M is brought by Garrett County Schools on behalf of Leanne Kirkpatrick. This is also a waiver for a second emergency. She has a degree in anthropology. She filled a high school math position for 1920, and she is also pursuing additional coursework in order to be admitted into an option 6 program.
Any questions for Crystal? All right, then I need a motion.
Motion to approve.
Second.
All right, so we have a motion to approve waiver M. If you approve the motion, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Those opposed, no. All right, the motion is approved. Waiver N.
Waiver N is brought by Powell County Schools on behalf of Catherine Moore. This is also a waiver of 2120 for a second emergency. For 1920, she filled a middle school English position in the district. She has a degree in communications. She plans to pursue option 6, but also needs some additional coursework in the area to qualify for admission.
Any questions for Crystal? All right. Do we have a motion?
Motion to approve.
Second.
Okay, so we have a motion to approve waiver N. If you approve the motion, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Those opposed, no. All right, so waiver N is approved. Waiver O.
Waiver O is brought by Christian County Schools on behalf of one of their teachers. This is a waiver you all had seen previously for Dustin Lopez. He is filling a high school Spanish position for the district. The previous waiver that was granted was to waive the GPA requirement because his GPA wasn't high enough at the time for the emergency certification. He is pursuing option 6. He has taken 2 courses since then and received A's in both of them. So he has raised his GPA since the previous emergency was granted. However, the district needs a second emergency because he needs more coursework to qualify for the option 6.
Okay. Any questions for Crystal? All right. Do I have a motion?
I'll approve it.
I'll second.
Okay. So we have a motion to approve waiver O. If you approve the motion, signify by saying aye.
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 Those opposed, no. All right, the motion carries and the waiver is recommended for approval. Waiver P.
And last but not least, the Todd County Schools is requesting a similar waiver to the last one. This one is for Tamara Wagner. This is also a second emergency, and the GPA was low on the first one. She filled in a chemistry position 1920 school year. She's pursuing option 6. She's taking courses in STEM to raise her GPA so she can qualify for admission to option 6.
Any questions for Crystal?
I would approve. I make a motion to approve.
Second.
Okay, so we have a motion to approve waiver P. If you approve the motion, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, no. All right, so the motion is recommended for approval. All right, anything else? We've done really well. 35. Okay, Allison or Rob, anything else we need to do before we sign off from?
No, I think we're in good shape. I appreciate y'all hopping on, everybody getting on early, and it looks like we probably could have gotten it done in the half hour, but it's better to be safe than sorry, and that gives you a couple minutes to refill your coffee or whatever before we get on for the long haul, because it's going to be a long one today.
Yeah.
Yay.
Yay. Thanks, everybody. Really appreciate it.
Crystal, Allison.